Imagine you had the perfect job, the perfect body, the perfect car. Would you be happy? Now, this is the story about a child of first-generation immigrants. He grew up modestly, he studied hard, he worked hard, and one day he had a dream. It didn't matter when, but he wanted to have a yellow Porsche. Now, he played his cards right. He went to Harvard. He worked at Goldman. He then got his MBA from Stanford and then ended up working at a hedge fund. And at age 38, he finally rewarded himself with a beautiful yellow Porsche Taycan. But lo and behold, this perfect car didn't deliver on the promise of happiness. I'll tell you about that in a bit. Now, chances are you don't have a yellow Porsche. I sure as hell don't. In fact, I drive a beat up Acura RDX. But at some point, we've all dreamed about that perfect life. We've dreamed about the perfect job, the perfect body, the perfect spouse. In my case, I dream about the perfect t-shirt. I absolutely love these t-shirts. The arms fit perfectly. The shoulders are lined up. They're $68 each, and I've got them in every single color. And while I love these perfect shirts, let me tell you, they stress me out. I've got to wash them in cold water and then hang dry them so that they keep their perfect shape. If they ever make it into the dryer, they are ruined. And let's not talk about those times when I go eat pasta. I'm nervous to even take a bite. This is a classic example of this statement. Do you own your stuff, or does your stuff own you? Now back to the friend with the yellow Porsche. Yes, he got it, and it made him miserable. The clearance was too low. He would always scratch it going up and down his garage. He felt like a douchebag when he picked up his kids from their soccer games. And adding insult to injury, it wasn't even that comfortable. He turned to me and he said, you know what? I should have just gotten a Ford F-150. It turns out that the perfect car wasn't perfect for him. I think you get the story. If you had the perfect job, great. But immediately you'd be scared of fucking it up or scared of someone else applying for it. If you had the perfect body, well, guess what? You'd have to maintain it. You'd have to exercise all the time. You'd have to cut out sugar, cut out alcohol, get 9 hours of sleep. You could quickly see how you'd become a prisoner to having that perfect thing. Now, I know many of you aren't buying this. In fact, when I posted this on Twitter, lots of people said, if I had the perfect body and the perfect spouse, I promise you, I would be happy. But I want you to consider this. If you're watching this channel, it means you are an ambitious and driven professional. It also means that you are in the top 1% of earners in the entire world. Yep, if you make more than $34,000 a year, you are in the top 1% in the entire world. So by that logic, do you really think that 99% of the world's population is not happy because they don't have the perfect job, perfect spouse, or the perfect car? Now, I used to be the guy in search of the perfect everything until I read this book, When Things Fall Apart, by Pema Chodron, one of my spiritual teachers. In this book, she describes the 8 worldly dharmas that are 4 pairs of opposites that dictate how we feel about our lives. Basically, there are things that we love and bring us pleasure that we are attached to, and things that bring us pain that we run from. For example, we love pleasure but dislike pain. We love praise, but we dislike criticism. And one that's super relevant to this video, we love gaining things and we hate losing things. So we love the praise from flexing that yellow Porsche, but we hate the criticism of the people who give us side eye. We love gaining that perfect 6-pack, but we hate the fear of losing it. Which brings us to the question of impermanence. Every day something new is born, and every day something else fades. That is just the cycle of life, and we shouldn't fear it. In fact, we should honor it. So that doesn't mean don't get the yellow Porsche. In fact, go for it. If that's what makes you happy, enjoy it, feel it. But also recognize its impermanence. Don't get too attached to it. Know that one day it will get dinged. One day you'll get criticized for it. And one day, yes, it will end up in the junkyard. And that is totally okay.